I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't we find a single reason not to say goodbye? Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my
Everybody out there, all my MDK gang members out there, go check out Cold TV. I checked it out myself. That shit's dope as hell.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to our special Memorial Day episode of Pro Wrestling 60. And happy Memorial Day to you all. I'm Xlj the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Roll.
How are we doing out there, world? On this Memorial Day, we are going to try to somehow make this an episode to remember.
Yes, and we're back. We took a week off, so it was nice to have a little week off, but getting back in the saddle again. And man, oh man, we have got so much to talk about tonight. This is going to be a chock-filled, loaded episode, a supersized episode. Thank God the network was so kind to allow us extra time. I mean, the network has been so good to us, really. And I mean,
In a world where there needs to be a hero, a racially ambiguous hero, we need a hero that's TKO and Warner Brothers approved. We bring to you Dwayne Johnson as Whack Adam. If you smell what the Atom is cooking, I think I smell something. What do you smell? Some fragranted pistachio nuts? Bitch, this thing ain't focused enough. We need to save the DCU from Henry Cavill. Because Henry Cavill's trying to take over America. And I just can't let that happen. Rock bottom! Wait, that was an RKO. Speaking as America's #1 hero, I need to cleanse myself. Well, who are you? Stay focused, motherfucker. I want to focus on the atom. Hi, I'm the atom. And I'm going to cleanse you good. Let me just drink myself, and I'm going to get myself right up in that hole there. Just give me a minute. The atom did what Ant-Man could never do. Went inside the main character's ass. But I can't get him out. He's stuck in there, possibly forever. Hopefully he doesn't, go full size and I'll explode. Who can help? Whack Adam, or racially ambiguous Adam. Maybe I can help. Oh, Hawkman? No, it's Hawk to a Man. Let me spit on that ass so I can help get Adam out of there. Yoo-hoo, I'm finally out of there. Adam in focus. Adam with Dr. Fate. Was he my ass too? We sure were. Well, it's always a party in my ass. As long as I'm the head of TKO and the DCEU and Henry Cavill never works in this town again. Stay focused, goddammit, Warner Brothers. Another successful defense of TKO. God, I love my beautiful bald head. I'm the greatest actor to ever exist. It's the man called Sting. He's the man called Sting. He's the man called Sting. He's the man called Sting. I never saw Black Adam. I'm just assuming that's how things went. Definitely the ending. The ending was spot on.
Are we back? Are we? What the hell was that? So what? Like I was just saying such nice things about the network, and then you cut us out with Black Adam. I guess at least it was Best Scout's version of Black Adam. Oh, that was weird. What a way to start the show, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I promise you, we have got a lot to talk about in the world of pro wrestling. Thank you, Best Scout, I guess, for that interpretation of Black Adam. I've never seen it as well. Probably won't. But B-roll, why don't you hit us with that sweet, sweet line? Even though shit, the show's already started. But yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. I'm gonna do my.
I want to
best
see a
here.
2-hour version of that, actually.
Maybe one of these days we'll get the extended cut. Who knows?
God will.
But this is PW60. He is Xlj the Og. I am Mr. B-roll, and we're going to recap somehow, some way, everything that happened in professional wrestling this past week. And I say the clock starts now.
All righty, there we go. And of course, our top story this week, it was a Memorial Day weekend smorgasbord extravaganza of professional wrestling action with 4 different shows going on. I tell you, I love how these past couple of years Memorial Day has just been like a huge epicenter for pro wrestling. Like, this is a tradition I can definitely get behind, man. It was awesome just having all this pro wrestling action to see. And seriously, everybody, oh, WWE's better, oh, AEW, blah, blah, blah. Like, quit it with that shit, please, and just enjoy pro wrestling, because we got a healthy dosage of it this weekend. Some of it good, some of it not so good. We're going to get into that. But overall, what do you think of the Memorial Day weekend of pro wrestling action, my friend?
I mean, wrestling definitely did dominate the weekend. I mean, you had a show Friday night, you had a show Saturday night, you had 2 shows on Sunday night. I mean, jam-packed full of wrestling.
You got the NBA playoffs going on right now. You got the NHL playoffs going on right now in sports. There's just so much stuff to watch, man, with so little time. But let's just get right into it. And first, we are going to talk about last night. Double or Nothing. A lot of people this morning waking up and a lot of people saying, hey, this is the show where you fell back in love with All Elite Wrestling. I got to tell you, B-Roll, overall, I love this show. We watched it. We got to watch this together last night. It was an awesome show. Granted, it went over a little bit, and I kept having to nudge you to wake up just because, not because of the action, just you was a tired old man just like me. But man, oh man, it was a great show. But that main event, though, let's talk about it. The finals of the men's Owen Hart tournament between Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay, and you were so conflicted going into this, I know, because these are two of your favorite guys, if not your favorite guys, not only in AEW but in all pro wrestling. This matchup, though, delivered and then some. This reminded me of like just a classic kind of like what you would see in New Japan, that struggle back and forth of and that strong style of pro wrestling action. Overall, B-Roll, what did you think of this matchup?
Yeah, so I mean, there was no doubt in my mind that this was going to be an amazing matchup. Excuse me, sorry. Tons of back and forth action. Man, the outcome though. I mean,
Yes.
I'm a little surprised by it. I'm not mad at it. I'm just
Oh, hell
I'm
no.
a,
Yeah.
I'm a excuse me. Just a little
Choked up.
surprised by it. Yeah.
It kudos to AEW because this was the right decision. I think all of us going into this, myself included, thought for certain that Will Ospreay would be walking out with the W. But they made a compelling case for Hangman. And we're going to talk a lot more about this, but that promo from Wednesday night, oh my God. Like, and just this is now officially, this is the Hangman Adam Page redemption arc. I mean, he laid it out there. I mean, it's been 2 years, man. 2 years. You remember, B-Roll, you're still the pro wrestling newbie. What got you into pro wrestling was Hangman Adam Page, us collaborating on a project where we were talking about Hangman's rise and telling that story of him winning the AEW championship for the first time. I mean, that's what got you hooked. And here we are, 2 years later, he's been on this wild trip. And now he's on the precipice of going to the biggest show of the year for All Elite Wrestling, All In Texas, to where he will challenge for the AEW championship. And he now has the opportunity to finally stop the reign of terror that has been Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. Like, it just writes itself, man. Like, and trust me, Will Ospreay is going to win that AEW championship at some point. But I think for Hangman to win it this time, like, it makes the most sense. And I'm happy they did it because I think, like I say, I think a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, this is going to be your typical booking. Ospreay's going to win it. Ospreay's going to win the title. And that would have been great, too. But to me, there's just something a lot more interesting about this, with it being Hangman Page being the one to challenge for the world championship. And hey, let's face facts. We got a long road ahead of us before we get to All In Texas, like 7 weeks or something like that. So, I mean, anything can happen. So, but Hangman Adam Page successfully defeating Will Ospreay in a classic. And of course, Hangman is our wrestler of the week here on PW60. I don't know if you got a chance to see the press conference afterwards, man, but the press conference was really great. And just Hangman was so emotional in it, and just so it was awesome, man. It was awesome to see. It's like, this is a guy that we've been missing for a long time in AEW because he's went down, that path for the past couple of years. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for Wednesday night. Can't wait to see Dynamite and where we go from here, as we're now officially on the road to All In. Now let's talk about the other Owen Hart Championship Tournament matchup, which kicked off the show. Mercedes Moné going up against Jamie Hayter. We said this on a prediction show. Pretty much this one was the biggest foregone conclusion on the show. But you know what? There was moments in this matchup where it was like, oh my God, I think Jamie could win this. Like, this was closer than we thought it was going to be. It was a tremendous matchup too. It was a great opener to kick off the show. A great women's final for the Owen tournament, but of course Mercedes Moné did walk out with the win and will now challenge for that women's championship at All In, and we're going to talk about that here momentarily. But what did you think of the women's final in the Owen Hart tournament?
I think the best reaction I can give is like is that meme of like, you know what, that that was better than I thought it was. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that more than I thought I would. Um, both like both the gear, like both their gear, like it was both
it
were
was sick.
sick.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and honestly, this was a super dope way to kick off the show. Um, I love beginning with the Owen Hart tournament and also ending with the Owen Hart tournament. It just makes it feel that much more important. And yeah, I was honestly I, w- I was impressed with this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think because, like I say, there was very brief moments where it was like, oh my god, Jamie's going to actually do this.
Mhm.
And we had the privilege of watching this with Daddy-O, and Daddy-O was pissed when Mercedes won because he doesn't like her either. Just goes to show you just how many people out there just have a true despise for Mercedes Monet. But nonetheless, she is your Owen Hart Women's Tournament winner, and she's going on to All In. Oh man, but it was both. But like you say, both matchups were incredible. But I think match of the night definitely was Anarchy in the Arena, and you can see here it's our match of the week on PW60. It delivered to what these matches are. Anarchy in the Arena is always fun and chaotic and crazy, and that had
Mhm.
everything in this one. Just like I say, watching it with my dad, and he's like, kind of watches here and there. He's not a super fan, but like I could tell at 11, this match went on at like 10:30, 11 at night. Had a long day, and he was like on the edge of his seat watching this matchup because he loved it, just like the chaos with it. um you start off with the entrances. By the way, huge shout out to Swerve Strickland. My god, that Predator gear, holy shit.
Yep, that
Oh.
was awesome.
um then you get the young Bucks coming out in their founding fathers gear, and they're playing that music all throughout, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then I like how like Kenny gets on the mic. It's like, hey, we need, let's switch this shit up. And then they're playing the I'm so excited. And then like I love how him and Swerve just kind of a moment and look at each other and it's like, okay, fuck it. Let's just get this shit on. And then going into the bodies hit the floor by Drowning Pool. Chef's kiss. So fucking good. Oh man, but just the chaos all throughout this matchup, man. I mean, and the thing of it is, you had 6 or 12 different wrestlers involved in this, right? Like
Hmm.
everybody kind of got their own stuff, and everybody had like their spots and stuff too that got highlighted throughout the match. I think they did a really good job of highlighting that stuff throughout. And like I loved having Willow and Marina in this, man. Like they fucking killed it. That was awesome watching their performances in this matchup. B-roll, what'd you think of Anarchy in the Arena?
It was amazing. I was a little confused at the end when they put them all in the ambulance, but then it was like, oh wait, when you see that it was just the Young Bucks, back in the ring, it's like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing. Um, it was it was perfect. It was mass chaos. Gabe Kidd ends up coming out. Um, would have loved to seen Eddie come out,
We
but
thought it was going to happen. I mean, I think even the crowd was chanting Eddie, but alas, it did not happen. But that's okay. We got Mark Briscoe, a bloodied and battered Mark Briscoe from earlier in the night, which we're going to talk about that match here in just a little bit. But oh my god, like everything about, and then you get down to the finish, like you say, they throw him in the ambulance, and then you got the Young Bucks in the ring getting their ass kicked. Swerve puts on the Reeboks, his Reeboks, by the way, with the thumbtacks on them. Does a swerve stomp. Kenny delivers a one wing angel through like a exploding table or something. Just chaos all around, and of course, the team of Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, and the Ops pick up the win in this one. Um, I think this Anarchy in the Arena blows out of the water last year's Anarchy Arena, and I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the other ones, but maybe because it's so soon, I would say this was probably my favorite Anarchy in the Arena. Like I just really love this. I think they encapsulated everything that's fun about this matchup. It was a good time, man. It was a good, solid, just it was entertaining, man. That's the best way to put it. It was freaking entertaining. It was awesome. Loved Anarchy in the Arena. And of course, it's our match of the week here on PW60. Also, this encounter for the AEW Women's World Championship with timeless Tony Storm defending against the H Cup Angel herself, Mina Shirakawa. A tremendous matchup. Great back and forth. Once again, Tony Storm having a phenomenal title defense on pay per view. Of course, Tony picking up the win, retaining her AEW Women's Championship against Mina. And it was nice. They got to kiss, literally, and make up at the end of this. So, tremendous matchup. Just adding further on to the lineage of their rivalry that they have. I said this on the prediction show. I'll say this again. Mina Shirakawa is a future AEW Women's World Champion. Don't know when it's going to be, but it is going to happen at some point. But what'd you make of this Women's World Title matchup, my friend?
Um, I feel like throughout the whole match, I was entertained through the whole thing. And I feel like with each of their characters, uh, it's kind of what we've come to expect. Um, Obviously, the outcome was kind of like what we thought it would be, but both of them are so talented, and I really even though I guess you could say the outcome was predictable, um, it was still highly entertaining.
Yeah. And now we are on a collision course for All In Texas. It's the matchup we've been talking about for a long time, ever since Mercedes made her debut. We're finally going to get Mercedes Monet and Tony Storm one-on-one for the AEW Women's Championship. That's happening at All In. I mean, already with these two title matches, this is already like worth the price of admission alone, and we got more to come. And there's going to be some tremendous matchups on the horizon. But tremendous matchup here in the women's division. The women's division AEW is kicking ass and taking names, and it was awesome, man. It was an awesome matchup. But wasn't the only awesome matchup. We've already talked about that's 4 great matches, and oh yeah, this happened too. Speedball Mike Bailey challenging Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Championship. This was another phenomenal classic matchup, man. Um, I mean, I think we would be talking about this one a lot more if it just didn't get lost in the shuffle with all these other tremendous matchups we've mentioned.
Hmm.
But going into this on paper, we were like, "Oh, this is going to be great," because I'm pretty sure this is the first time Speedball and Okada have ever met one-on-one. And my God, did they beat the holy hell out of each other? You see Okada's chest after this one?
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
like freaking hamburger meat, man.
No kidding.
Um, and I thought for sure when they announced, okay, this has got a 15-minute time limit or whatever, this is going the time limit. But the match was so well done. Like, I don't know what the official time was, but I feel like it went longer than 15 minutes, but I loved it nonetheless. Like, my dad was super into this as well. Daddy-O, this was like one of his favorite matches along with Anarchy
Yeah.
in the Arena on the night. Uh, of course, Okada retains that Continental Championship. But what do you think
I
of
just
Okada and Speedball?
yeah. I mean, it was a great match. I want to talk about like the finish because it was like the drop kick, like
Mm-hmm.
in the like while he was doing the ultimate weapon was like I mean we said it before like Okada has like the best drop kick. Like don't understand how he gets up like so high and is able to deliver it so well. Um, but it was I love the finish because we were watching it together and you'd said, "Oh, I bet he's going to hit Ultimate Weapon," and then when he goes to cover, the time's going to run out.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that would happen too, but then next thing you know, like the drop kick comes almost like out of nowhere, and it made me pop, and I mean,
And
I love Speedball, I love him to death, and would have been awesome if he won, but yeah, that was a cool finish.
and that devastating rainmaker too, man. That was
Uh-huh.
he brought the rain and thunder and everything else in between. Because man, oh man, he took Speedball's head off. But tremendous outing for Speedball Mike Bailey. He continues to show why he is like one of the best pro wrestlers going today. Can't wait to see what happens from here. But I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. I think we are on a collision course. It's Okada and Omega at All In, and it's going to be for the first time ever in North America. And my God, it's going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see that matchup. Also, we got to see the Hurt Syndicate successfully retain their tag team championship against the Sons of Texas. Wasn't a bad match. Like wasn't a bad match at all. Like even the stuff with MJF and stuff. Like I don't think it took away from this matchup. Um, it wasn't one that like moved the needle or anything like that. But it's not a bad matchup. What did you think of the tag title match?
Once again, like you said, like not a bad matchup. Um, I I feel like the main point of it was trying to further along this story with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. Um, was it? I'm trying to remember on a prediction. I think it was Derek that had the Sons of Texas winning, and like they made the point that they were going to be champs going into Texas, and I was like convinced that that is what was going to happen.
Uh,
But yeah, it was a good match.
mhm. I
When
thought there was moments in this too where I thought, oh shit, for sure we're gonna get MJF turning because it just felt like okay he's gonna set them up, but
yeah,
obviously it didn't happen. And the Hurt Syndicate still in business, still your AEW Tag Team Champions. It's I don't know if there's any tag team out there in the current landscape that can really stop them right now. I
they
think the only
they
one that's going
they
to be
still
their
hurt
undoing
people.
is themselves. Yeah, they still hurt people. Indeed, my friend. Speaking of hurt people, holy shit, this one. The stretcher match, aka it's an ambulance match, between Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. This is a matchup that went way better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought it'd be a decent matchup, but no, this was a tremendous effort by both competitors. My God, Mark Briscoe bleeding buckets, literally, in this matchup. And the fact that Mark Briscoe came out later in the night to help at Anarchy in the Arena is crazy. Like, that man is unstoppable. If I was in a barroom fight, I want him on my side because he's just not going to give up with that redneck kung fu. But we've talked about the past several weeks here on PW60. Ricochet's just getting better and better, like in this heel personification that he's doing, the work he's doing in now in AEW. It's just it's very well done. Like it's showing and highlighting not only his athleticism, but just him tapping into that role of being that douchey like turd like guy.
Hmm.
And it's so much better than anything he ever did in WWE. And I don't want to get into that bullshit because we've said this on the show before. There is just some competitors that they work better in a WWE environment, and there's some that work better in the AEW environment. And Ricochet is definitely one of those guys. But Ricochet picking up the win in this one. And like I say, it was a tremendous one on one. I think we're kind of this rivalry. I think we're kind of done with it. And Ricochet and both Mark Briscoe are kind of going to move on to different things. Specifically, Mark Briscoe, I think, is going to have his hands busy with the Gabe Kidd. But what'd you think of the ambulance or the stretcher match?
Yeah, uh, yeah. That made me because I'm like it just makes me wonder. It's like okay, so it's like ambulance match like copyrighted or something.
I
Um,
can tell you this, traditionally speaking, in the world of pro wrestling, a stretcher match, typically you put the opponent on the stretcher and then you push them past there's like a taped off line at the most of the times at the entryway of the
hmm.
arena where the wrestlers come out, you know. But that
Yeah,
obviously wasn't the case in this one.
yeah. But regardless of the logistics of it, this match was honestly it was amazing. honestly, it probably could have been a contender for match of the week too, just
Yeah,
because of, I mean, Mark Briscoe. I mean, literally bleeding buckets,
buckets.
and it was just like the visuals from it were like incredible,
Hmm.
and like his redneck
Hmm.
the redneck kung fu is crazy, and like with Ricochet's athleticism, it just all the ingredients just worked.
Yeah.
They just worked, and um, yeah, I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this is like you're at Thanksgiving dinner, man, and you get that that casserole dish, man, and you're like you're not sure about it, but then you put
Hmm.
first bite in your mouth, and you're like, oh yeah, this is damn good, and it's going to be another important thing I remember from this meal. And this matchup is definitely going to be an important matchup that you remember from Double or Nothing for sure. Also in tag team action, FTR picking up a big win as they defeated Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness in an unlikely duo there. This was a fun. Once again, this was a fun matchup. Didn't really move the needle per se, but it was a fun tag team encounter. I thought great seeing Nigel. Anytime you get to see Nigel is phenomenal. The story they're kind of telling here with Daniel Garcia and how they literally just like that sharpshooter at the end where he's like literally just setting on his back. It's like, oh shit. And then the stuff
Hmm.
with Tony Schiavone and Stokely Hathaway. I do like the pairing too here as well, Stokely with FTR. I think that's a good pairing. What do you think of this tag team encounter?
Like you said, it's wonderful to see Nigel, and I just FTR just works so much better as heels.
They do.
They can, you know, they can be babyface for a while, and it's gonna work. But they just work so much better as heels. Well, and you know what? As we're sitting here speaking, you asked what team could stop the Hurt Syndicate. Well,
The FTR.
let me raise you FTR. Yeah,
You're not wrong.
I, I could see that coming down the pipe. But
Hmm.
but who knows? Yeah, I mean, I think the real. I'm interested to see where they go with Nigel. From like, was this just a one-off, or I don't know? Are they somehow like
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it, but I would even like to see him against Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah. I was getting ready to say that. I think I would love to see that matchup, man. I think it'd be a great one. Two former Ring of Honor pure champions going at it. Hell yeah. And the thing of it is too is like this like gave Daniel Garcia like something to kind of chew on because Daniel Garcia has kind of just been not really doing as much, but this whole stuff he's had going on with FTR, I would say it's probably been the most entertaining thing he's done since he had the little feud with MJF, you know. But it's just amazing to me to think where we were. I think it was the last pay per view was Revolution, right? And where Daniel Garcia was on that card and like ended up losing, and somehow is even more interesting than the man who beat him for the championship. Speaking of which, let's talk about this matchup. This was it was okay. It was fine. Once again, not moving the needle. You know, it was as we called it. It was kind of a pee break matchup. I mean, we're coming
This
down from Anarchy in the Arena.
this match served its purpose.
It did. It did where it was at. It made sense. But you have Paragon going up against the Don Callis family. Of course, the Don Callis family picking up the win here. Um, the whole Paragon stuff, the whole Adam Cole stuff. He's the TNT champion. It's we've talked about time in, time out. It just that's one thing right now in AEW. I think it's not working. Um,
I
I
just
don't
don't
feel
care
like that
anymore.
TNT. I don't, and I don't think that TNT title's carries any relevancy anymore. I have nothing, no feeling for it. If you was to put me like ranking all the championships in all elite wrestling, I would
Hmm.
probably put the TNT title dead last. Um,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But The Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, and Takeshita picking up a win, which we've talked about this too. We love this new version of the Don Callis family. Even I would go as far as say this is, I think, the best faction in AEW right now going. Of course, at the end, we get some shenanigans, and we did get a special appearance from the ace himself, the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hiroshi Tanahashi would come out to help save the day along with Tomohiro Ishii and Brody King. Yeah, this, like I say, this match was what it was, but it looks like there's going to be some type of a multi-man matchup with the Don Callis family involved going against Tanahashi and some other competitors. And I'm assuming that's probably going to take place at Forbidden Door. So, but overall, man, Double or Nothing was an amazing show. You had the here you see, there's Ace, go Ace. You had the buy-in as well. Got to see Harley Cameron on the buy-in, so that was good enough for me. Teaming up with Anna Jay, they did successfully defeat the team of Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, and then also there was a 8-man tag where Roosh and his team picked up the win. But a lot of people talking, like I say today, that this Double or Nothing was really like one of the best pay-per-views AEW's put on in a while. I think I have to agree. And I think a lot of it has to do too with that main event and the finish. And our buddy, Best Scout, he made a video, or I think he made a video about it. Yeah. Just talking about how much he loved that pay-per-view because it's like almost the first time in a year where the show ended with a happy ending. Because it's always the same. Mox does some bullshit and walks away still the champion. So it was nice to have a happy, positive ending on what was a positive night. And we've talked about this here on the show as well, like AEW really kind of like turning the corner and kind of coming in their own. I feel like they're the most comfortable they've been in their identity in a long time. It's working, them working at these different arenas and stuff, the building up to the pay-per-views and stuff, what they have lying ahead. I am so excited for All Elite Wrestling. And you should be too, man, as a pro wrestling fan. Doesn't matter whose side you're on, man. Just, once again, just enjoy pro wrestling. Because, yes, we know Double or Nothing wasn't the only show Sunday night. Let's talk about NXT Battleground, which took place. And man, oh man, if people aren't talking about the greatness of Double or Nothing, they're talking about this right here. Because in the main event of Battleground, Trick Williams did the unthinkable, and he has defeated Joe Hendry, and he is now the TNA champion. That's right, a WWE contracted wrestler is the TNA champion. A lot of people pissed off about this B-roll. What are your thoughts on it, my friend?
Well, I can't say I'm surprised, but
Me neither.
it sucks that it happened to Joe Hendry. That's what sucks.
Yes.
Now, as far as the people like being pissed off and everything, like I do think people need to simmer down.
Yes.
Simmer down now, because I do want to make the point, and this is just like a factual point. We gotta remember that this has happened before. Kenny Omega and Christian Cage were the TNA champion. So it's
When
not
they were
like
AEW wrestlers.
this is not like it's unheard of.
Yeah.
But
Here's
and see that could open another can of worms. But
here's the
I
thing.
think, yeah,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
buddy. Okay. So here's the
Just
thing.
that Joe Henry's so beloved. Is the
Yes. Yes. There's multiple facets to it. Number one, you said it right there. The fact that Joe Hendry is beloved. Number two, you mentioned Kenny Omega and Christian did it. Okay, when they did it, they were well-established stars who could help the company, TNA at the time, get over. Is Trick Williams going to be one of those guys? The answer there is no. The only reason this is of relevancy is the fact that he is a WWE contracted wrestler, that he is in NXT. I've said it on this show before. You can agree or disagree. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. We can have our opinions, you know. I think Trick Williams is highly overrated. I think he had his 15 minutes of fame last year. He got over, ironically enough, on like a catchphrase. But it just, with him, it just didn't really stick. I never really saw improvement. I think the trick shot's one of the weakest finishes I've seen. There's so many other guys that throw a knee better than him. I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is, Kenny Omega was an established star. Christian Cage, an established star who could help your company. Trick Williams isn't that. And to me, that's my biggest gripe with this. And the fact of the matter is, let's look back in history. B-roll, who did Kenny Omega defeat for that TNA championship back in the day? Do you remember?
Rich Swann.
Rich Swann. Was Rich Swann at the level of success that Joe Hendry was?
No.
Nope. You know, and then Christian takes it off Kenny in their feud or whatever, and then Christian ends up dropping it to Josh Alexander, which was the right thing to do. But the fact of the matter is this, like, this happened, and it's just, Trick isn't that guy. If you had done it with, like, maybe a Ethan Page or an Obafemi or something, maybe I would have been more. Still, though, you hate seeing it with Joe Hendry, because, I mean, Joe Hendry at the time is the most over TNA champion. I don't care what everybody says. May not be the best, but he's the most over. For God's sakes, this man competed at WrestleMania, for crying out loud. The biggest show of the year, and he competed on it as a TNA wrestler. Like I say, my gripe isn't so much the fact that the NXT guy won it. It's just the guy who won it. He shouldn't be the champion. I've said my piece. We're moving on. But the matchup itself wasn't bad. It was a decent matchup. But now we're in this era of whoop that trick on TNA wrestling. But also, I think it sets up for what needs to happen. And the guy who needs to be next in line, the savior of TNA wrestling now, it needs to be Mike Santana. Mike Santana has been killing it the past several months in TNA. Give me a Mike Santana Trick Williams matchup on down the line, and Mike Santana walks out that TNA champion. That's what I'm all about. So we'll see what happens here, but I am not a fan of this, but I'm not a fan of it not because of the reason most people are with the whole WWE involvement or whatever. I'm not a fan of Trick Williams. So, and also, like you said, he shouldn't have been the guy to beat Joe Hendry. So, also in action at Battleground, Obafemi successfully retaining his NXT championship against Miles Bourne, the surprise competitor. Kind of this was a match that was a foregone conclusion, really. But a great opportunity and showing by Miles Bourne in this one, too, showing that I think he's a guy who's got a great future lying ahead of him, man. This was a great matchup. But Obafemi's reign of terror continues. I mean, no, I don't see who the hell is going to stop Obafemi anytime soon, man.
I don't either.
But this was we talk about it a lot, you know, it's that going over, getting over type of thing, and I think Miles captured a lot of hearts with the NXT crowd. I mean, my God, not only like just him being able to compete in this matchup and stay in there with Obafemi, and also winning the Battle Royal and just overcoming all the adversity in life, too. The fact that he is hooking up with Stephanie Fakur, dude, like, Miles is you're my hero, dude. You're my freaking hero, man. I'm just saying. I had no idea they were even a couple until this week, and that got announced. I was like, oh, okay. But speaking of Stephanie Fakur, a lot of people say this was the best matchup of Battleground. I'm right there with them. Stephanie Fakur defending her NXT Women's Championship against Jordan Grace. This was an awesome matchup, like we knew it could be. But once again, Stephanie Fakur showing her dominance, and she successfully retains that NXT Women's Championship. I mean, dude, she's went through all these greats. We talked about how loaded this women's division is in NXT, and she's pretty much ran roughshod through everybody. Like, who the hell is going to stop Stephanie Fakur? Like,
that is a good question.
I think the only one that can stop her is herself at this point. My goodness. And of course, it does look like she's going to be involved with some of the luchador competitors. I do forget their names from AAA, as there's that little confrontation there after this matchup. So, but Stephanie Fakur, tremendous matchup. Definitely the best match of the night. I think the women's matches were the best matches on this show, which we're going to talk about this one as well. the North American Women's Championship on the line. Sol Ruka successfully defending against former champion Kalani Jordan. This was a great matchup, dude. Great way to start the show. The styles between these two, they just work so great. You got this kind of stuff going on with Kalani where she's kind of starting to become a little bit interesting. Okay, thank you, Dallas, and I'm sorry I butchered that. Yeah, those were the two ladies that confronted Stephanie at the end of the night. Thanks, Sienna. But yeah, dude, this was a great matchup. Did you get a chance to see this one?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, like you said, the women's matches were definitely probably the better of the matches. But we do say all the time, this is the most loaded women's division.
Mhm.
Um, so what I want to know is when we are getting. I feel like somehow, some way, we're eventually getting Sol Ruka versus
Saria?
Zarya. Yeah,
Yeah.
Zarya. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick whenever they do that. Like, but I love their partnership too, so I don't want to see it anytime soon. But it does happen. It'll be pretty cool nonetheless. Also, at Breakdown or Battleground, I should say, we got to see this confrontation in the family. Stacks picking up a huge win against Tony D'Angelo. Man, oh man, Tony, what's happened, bro? Your family's falling apart. You lost your North American Championship a couple months ago. Like, where does Tony D'Angelo go from here, my friend?
Well, I know in your opinion, it's the main roster.
I think so. I think that's where we're going with this. But man, oh man, Stacks put a beating on him. Gonna have Tony D'Angelo maybe sleeping with the fishes after this week. Who knows? But this was a fun, solid matchup. Part of this story that they're telling between them. I think it was the right time to kind of break that group up. So we'll see what happens here going forward for both these guys. It's kind of a little intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. So. And then also, we got to see a six-man tag with Hank and Tank teaming up with Josh Briggs as they did defeat the Culling in six-man action. I got to be honest with you. Like, I saw bits and pieces of this one B-roll. I was kind of like in between, like, doing stuff. So I don't really got a whole lot to say on this one. Like, it was on the show. You got to see your tag team champions in action. So there's that. But Battleground, not a bad show. Um, NXT. Here's the thing. The thing of it is, I think NXT has done so many great PLEs that the other than the what happened as far as the stuff with Trick Williams and Hendry, and of course with that tremendous matchup between Stephanie McCurry and Jordan Grace. It's not going to be one I think we're going to be talking about like in the eons of great NXT takeover shows, or PLEs or whatever you want to call it. So, but it was a decent show nonetheless. Well, let me tell you, it wasn't decent. I want to shoot straight with you. Saturday night's main event was the drizzling shits. Okay, I watched it for 2 hours. I did a watch along. By God, did this show suck? Like, I swear, all it was, and I get it. It is what it is, right? It was mostly a fucking commercial for commercial after commercial. Just fuck, this show sucked. This was hard to watch for 2 hours. And on paper, it shouldn't have. Like, I don't know. Leave us a comment. Let us know if you like Saturday Night's Main Event. Great. But I would like to know what was enjoyable about it because, I mean, just overall. Okay, there was like two things, and this isn't one of them. Logan Paul and Jey Uso for the world title. Thank you, God above. Jey Uso retains his world title because, as John Cena says, that would literally have ruined wrestling. You son of a bitch. Of course, at the end of this, you do get where Logan, John Cena comes out, interviews, and we get a returning Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is back in the WWE. And it does now look like Money in the Bank. We are going to get a tag team encounter between Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso going up against John Cena and Logan Paul. eh, like fuck, I don't really care. But let me tell you this, WWE, that sure as shit ain't gonna make me plop down $8,000 for a front row fucking seat for that. I'm just saying. I don't even know if you're gonna get me to watch the show on Peacock for God's sakes, but not for that one anyway. But great to see Cody Rhodes back. There's that, and I did kind of like the John Cena promo kind of in between. Did you watch any of Saturday Night's main event, or were you kind of just like, eh?
I did. So ironically, I was actually driving during part of this, and
Oh shit.
kid, kids, I don't recommend this, but I had it on for like background noise, right? And
Yeah.
but I uh, I was driving through kind of like a dead spot, and I lost connection, and like the by the time I got connection back, it was around. So when I lost connection, it was during the R-Truth like Cena match, and by the
Yeah.
time I got connection back, like that match was already over. That's how
Yeah.
that's how
You
that's how
missed
quick it was.
you missed the best matchup. Like, oh god. Yeah, before we talk about that, this was the one that was the worst on the whole card for me. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in a steel cage. Like it was just so fastly put together. A steel cage matchup is supposed to be like the end of the rivalry. It's supposed to be an intense matchup. It's supposed to be like, just this war of attrition, right? What the fuck? This was maybe 10 minutes or something because we had to do like a 3-minute infomercial for Dude Wipes or something. Like just
the the video package introing this was better than the match.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Happy Priest picks up the win, but he walks out of the cage and confuses Jesse Ventura. um, but yeah, I just this is what was the worst match on the show for me. I just I don't want any more Priest, Matt Drew. Let's move on. Let them kind of move and do their own thing because I'm done seeing them honestly. The United States Championship was on the line as well as we got Selena Vega successfully retaining against former champion Chelsea Green. It was okay. Like I think they didn't once again ruined by not having enough time because we have to do all the other bullshit lead up. To me, the best match on the show. I don't know if we got a I don't think we do got a slide on here, but the Ron was it the Ron Cena against John Cena matchup? That was just a fun, stupid, silly matchup. Of course, John Cena picking up the win and non-title, and then the opener you had this tag team matchup: Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker going up against Sami Zayn and CM Punk. It was okay. Once again, nothing crazy, but the big thing was at the end, you got the return of Bronson Reed. And it looks like Bronson Reed is now in this group with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Holy shit. Like, this was the best thing on Saturday Night's main event was Bronson Reed coming back. Rest of his dog shit, but this was good. Like, happy to see him back. He looks healthy. He looks like a monster. He looks like he's ready to just run rampant. And this new faction, dude, and you got Paul Heyman as the brains behind it. Holy shit, right? Like this is going to be something to watch. How excited are you to see Bronson Reed?
I am very excited. But I saw a meme on this, and it was or comparing or something. And it was like, okay, so Seth is Triple H, and Braun is Randy Orton, uh, Bronson Reed is Batista, and Heyman is Ric Flair.
Yeah, I get that for the most part, other than obviously Heyman not wrestling, but still though, like it
Right.
works. So I'm excited. Like I'll keep it. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. This right here is the only reason I'm even remotely interested in turning into Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm hoping it's the main segment and I can just go on with my night and just catch the replay or something, you know. But yeah, this is exciting to see this group come together and what they're going to do going forward. It's going to be very interesting. Well, my friend, is that time on the show? We need some advice from our friendly neighborhood Dad Hat. So let's go to Dad Hat with Dad Hat's tip of the week here on PW6.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's Life Lessons of the Week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids, always remember what they say about karma. She's a bitch.
In trouble on the table! Parsons legs! Tsunami through the table!
5 months later.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
One way or another, Bronson got punked. So, well, hey, that wasn't the only action we got to see this past weekend. We also got to see Friday night, TNA Under Siege took place, which was a loaded show. Granted, it didn't have a TNA World Title match on it, but anyways, I'm sorry. I had to get one in. Under Siege started off was a pretty solid affair. You got to see Mike Santana go up against Casey Navarro, which I really dug that matchup. So glad that we got that matchup instead of him against like Big AJ. Diener and Eddie Edwards was a solid encounter, and due to the stipulation, Diener is done in TNA wrestling. So I don't know if that's a storyline thing or if he's just hanging it up. If he is just hanging it up, man, kudos to him, man. Going out in his own country and whatnot. Also, we got to see the return of Raj Singh as he joined up with the Rascals and Eddie Hartwell to take on Mustafa Ali's Order 4. Masha Slamovic successfully retained her Knockouts Championship against Victoria Crawford, and the Nemeth successfully retained their tag team titles. Overall, this was a decent show. Like I have enjoyed the TNA shows here that they've put on. This wasn't one of their like bigger ones, but I mean it was still a solid effort nonetheless. I don't think it's one that's like going to be like, oh, I'm going to be talking about from years ago, but it was just a nice addition to what was already an incredible weekend of professional wrestling action from this Memorial Day weekend. Like I say, there was so much great stuff going on. It was awesome to see, my friend. It was a loaded weekend, and we here at PW60 is very blessed to have an awesome weekend. And speaking of being blessed here at PW60, we are so excited to announce to you tonight we have a new family member joining the PW60 family. It's our good friend Wrestling and Coffee. He will be joining us here now on PW60, and let's go to him with this special report.
Hello there. What would you like to order?
Oh, hey. Yeah, I'd like to order a Grande Americano.
Did you just order a Grande Americano from King Patriot? Nah, boy. You better order something else.
What are you talking about? Just make my Grande Americano already.
I said order something else. Or get out.
Okay, I'll order something else.
You know what? I don't need this stinking job no more. Grande Americano, you know what this means? It means I'm coming for you. And that speed title. That title's mine, boy.
What just happened? Does anybody else work here? Can somebody get my Grande Americano already?
Man, I hope he got his Grande Americano. Well, I'm excited to see what is going to happen in the coming weeks here with King Patriot on PW60. Oh, man. Like, is he going to win the speed title? Like, it'll be interesting to see. But so happy to have Wrestling and Coffee with us here on PW60. It's an awesome dude, and you guys are going to get to see that here every week on Pro Wrestling 60. Well, let's talk about Monday Night Raw from this past Monday. God, this feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Well, maybe like a week ago.
Yeah, it just feels like because there's just so much happens in the world of pro wrestling. You got to see the Judgment Day in tag action to kick off the show to go up against Penta and AJ Styles. What a unique team there, man. Huh? Also, we got to see Jey Uso go up against Braun Breaker, and of course that crazy fallout there. Sheamus going up against Grayson Waller, beating the hell out of him. And with a series of Money in the Bank qualifier matchups, is you got to see Roxanne pull up a big win. She successfully defeated Becky Lynch and Natalya to advance. And also on the women's side of things, you got to see Rhea Ripley advance. She defeated Kairi Sane and Zoe Stark, and we got to talk about this. This was brutal. If you saw Raw from this past week, Zoe Stark was injured in that matchup. One of the more brutal injuries I've seen. Just man, oh man, I know she's had problems before with her ankles and knees and stuff, but this was gruesome. Just like her jumping across the ring and the way she landed and stuff. She did have surgery this week, so hopefully she's on the mend and onward and upward, and she's got a long road ahead of her for recovery for sure. But we here at PW60 want to wish her well, and we hope she recovers very soon from that tremendous injury from this past Monday night on Raw, man. You hate to see it happen. Let's talk about SmackDown from this past Friday night, of course, as part of the Memorial Day weekend extravaganza that took place. Way you kicked off the show was interesting with Tiffany Stratton, kind of like her referring to. It's just so weird to me. It makes me feel so freaking old that like Tiffy time is referring to like Charlotte and Alexa as like vintage. I'm like, what? Like, I feel like they just got here. I remember watching them on NXT. I feel like it was yesterday. And now it's like, holy shit, they are the seasoned veterans on the main roster. Who would have thunk it, right? But you had that confrontation. Of course, some a woman's Money in the Bank. Julia picking up a massive win against Charlotte and Selena Vega. She's punched her ticket officially to Money in the Bank. You also had Chris Sabin one-on-one with Tommaso Ciampa and Candice LeRae returning to help out our fellow, her hubby's tag partner, Tommaso Ciampa. Secret Harvest was in action against Michin and B5. And then speaking of tag action, you got Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. I don't like saying that name. Picking up a win in their matchup against Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. And in the men's side of Money in the Bank, you had LA Knight win a big one to qualify for the Money in the Bank, defeating Shinsuke Nakamura and, of course, Aleister Black, which I was a little surprised there. And I tell you, a tremendous main event on Friday night from SmackDown with Fraxium challenging the Street Profits for the tag team titles. And it was great. But boy, oh boy, that's not what everybody's talking about. The Wyatt Six has returned as they just laid roughshod on everybody in this matchup and just kind of made their claim that, like, okay, we are here, we're back, and we're going to dominate this tag team division. I was so happy to see them, man. That's been far too long. Looks like Bo Dallas is healthy and ready to go. Let's just get it going, brother. I got to say, dude, that tag team division on Friday nights, holy shit, it's loaded now. What do you think of the Wyatt Six coming back on SmackDown?
I mean, honestly, it was probably the highlight of the night. Definitely. Just so glad they're back. And just, I think pretty much everyone is, and just ready to see, more of what we're gonna do with them.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. Hopefully, used well, because I mean there is that part of me. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of like, oh shit, what are you really gonna do? So, but it's great to see them back on TV. Like, that's the most important thing, is just seeing them on TV. I need them weekly. I need to see them weekly, and then we'll see what happens though. We mentioned Money in the Bank. Got an update on the card there, as you know. We've got, oh yeah, we forgot to mention that too. Solo Sikoa successfully qualifying for the Money in the Bank as well. So Solo Sikoa and LA Knight, the men's Money in the Bank. On the women's side of things, you got Julia, Roxanne, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley. Those matches are always exciting, of course. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm so happy LA Knight's in this. I don't know who else is gonna be in it, but I'm pulling for LA Knight, dude. Like, because that's just like, what are we doing next? But this could be the next thing for him. So, also, we do know it's going to be that tag team matchup with Logan Paul and John Cena against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes as well. And I'm sure there'll be some other matches announced along the way. Speaking of updates on cards, let's talk about Worlds Collide. Will be coming up on June the 7th. Man, God, that's going to be here before you know it, brother. We got a couple matches on this one. Legado del Fantasma will go up against, listen to this trio, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and your favorite, Psycho Clown.
It's okay. Me and Psycho Clown are cool.
Yeah,
Me and
you and Psycho Clown are cool. And what about this one-on-one matchup? El Hijo del Faikino going up against Chad Gable, and I love the fact, I'm so happy that's actually Chad Gable and not fucking doofus Americano. I'm glad they're going with that. Of course, you know how they're going to book this shit, and later on they're going to do it. But at least on this show, we're getting into that matchup. So far, man, Worlds Collide looking like a solid show. I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. But man, oh man, so much happened this week in the world of pro wrestling. But honestly, if it wasn't for this mega weekend, this probably would have been our top story this week, because it officially was announced that WrestleMania 42 will no longer emanate from New Orleans. That's right. They pulled the rug out.
What?
Yeah. It's not taking place in New Orleans. Now, this isn't official, folks, but it is heavily rumored and appears like WrestleMania 42 will, in fact, be returning to Las Vegas. A lot of people pissed off about this, and I totally get it. If I'm from a greedy, selfish perspective, like Vegas is kind of my home away from home, and to get to go back there again in that town, like I'm cool with that. But also at the same time, too, man, I've never been to New Orleans. I was looking forward to going to New Orleans, and now that shit's off the table, and God only knows when. But I mean, I'm sorry, but there's no way to sugarcoat this shit. This is a shitty fucking move. Like, this is just like, we've kind of talked about this a little bit on the show, and this is kind of, to me, the straw that broke the camel's back. The honeymoon phase of this new era with the WWE, with diehard fans, I think is officially over, because I think this pisses off a lot of people, and it should, because they're going to charge these exuberant prices, that shit that it's just like, there's no reason you should have to pay as much. Like, my God, you know how much a front row ticket to Money in the Bank costs is like $7,000? There's no fucking reason that should be that expensive. Like, this is just greed beyond creed. And here's the thing, what you're seeing now in the world of WWE, let's face facts. They've always been this way, but every now and then us diehard fans get attracted and drawn into the product and stuff. But WWE, for the longest time, has catered to the casual fan. They're beyond pro wrestling, folks. They are an attraction. Just like if you're going to the Disneyland, or if you're going to to like some touring band or whatever it may be, that's what WWE is. So it's not so much about what's on the card and stuff. It's the fact that it's the WWE. It's a WWE putting on a show, and you got to be there. You got to see this spectacle that is World Wrestling Entertainment. And that's exactly what this is. I don't know what this is going to do for the city of New Orleans. I mean, it's crazy for me to think, too, New Orleans, they just hosted a fucking Super Bowl. They just hosted the Super Bowl. And you mean to tell me WrestleMania is not fucking good enough for New Orleans? Which I don't think that's what this is here. So slow down, people. This is simply a fact of money. And the fact that Vegas is spending a buku amount of money to try to get WrestleMania back there. And the thing of it is, too, is it's not set in stone, folks, because there's some things going on in Vegas during this time frame that they have to get moved around in order to pull this deal off. But I'm sure we're going to find out a lot more in the coming weeks of where WrestleMania 42 will take place. I think you and I both talked about this, too. When this initially got announced, our first thoughts was, okay, it's going to the UK. And that would have been cool, man. That would have been cool. Like, I would have liked to see that. But going back to Vegas, it's going to be these astronomical prices. I hate the saying it is what it is, but folks, that's what you got here. It is what it is. So like I say, we'll see what's going to happen. But don't worry, New Orleans. You got a consolation prize. You get Money in the Bank next year. Hooray! Also, throwing this out there, do you see the date on this? Like, it's the end of August they're doing it. So, like, what the fuck? Are they shifting SummerSlam up now? Is that what's going on? Like, that's kind of an interesting thing. Like, not sure what that's going to be, but, I mean, they did this shit to Minnesota. Shout out to our good buddy, Light Skin Gaijin. Now, if you lived in New Orleans, you're getting fucked over. God, I hope Indy doesn't get fucked over. But we got a contract, so they can't really fuck us over. But man, oh man, WWE, what the fuck are you doing, man? It's just not leaving a good taste in your diehard, long-time wrestling fans' mouths. That's for damn sure, and also not really helping out our pocketbooks
So
either in a time
so
where
so
we need the help.
when The Rock cut that infamous promo on SmackDown,
For fucking nothing.
he didn't get
All
Cody's
that was
soul,
for nothing.
and New Orleans isn't getting a Mania.
I
What
want
the
your
heck?
soul, Cody. That didn't mean shit. Oh, you're getting a WrestleMania. No, you're not. Like, what the fuck? Like, just. And you know what? I hear he's off, going to be busy the next year or something, making movies. Good. Keep him the fuck off TV. Because at
You know
this
what I
point,
heard?
I'm sorry, I'm done with Dwayne.
It's Black Adam too.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully Best Scout's producing that. So we'll see what happens there. Well, hey, let's talk about Dynamite from this past Wednesday night, because this was a tremendous show, a tremendous go home show for Double or Nothing. Of course, you had a tremendous. I love the main event with Mina Shirakawa and Julie Hart in a tremendous matchup. Also, I love how we're seeing more and more women's in the main events at Dynamite, man. I mean, that's the way it should be, because that's the best division AEW's got. Also got to see Ricochet go up against Anthony Bowens. MJF officially signed his contract with the Hurt Syndicate. Powerhouse Hobbs and Swerve Strickland, Smo Joe going up against Mox and the Young Bucks in 6-man action. But what everybody was talking about from this Dynamite was the promo, the opening promo with Will Ospreay and Hangman Page, and that's what just made Double or Nothing all the more beautiful. Matter of fact, our good buddy Husky Rhodes has got his thoughts on this, so let's go to Husky Rhodes for a hot take.
What it is, PW60, it's your boy Husky Rhodes out here getting some cardio in. Let's talk about that promo from Dynamite. Hangman and Will Ospreay had one of the best back and forth promos I've heard in years. That was exactly what their match needed. Like, I was already planning to watch the pay-per-view, but if I had any reservations before that sold me. Legitimately, one of the best promos I've heard from either man. Like I said earlier, if you don't feel anything after watching that promo, I genuinely don't think you're a fan of pro wrestling.
I totally agree with you, Husky. It was a tremendous promo. It made me really invested in that matchup, and it delivered. Let's talk about Collision, which was actually from this past Thursday night. The go home show there for Double or Nothing. Nothing like true crazy happened on the show. It was just a good solid 2 hours of pro wrestling, man. You had a lot of the Don Callis family in action, of course, going up against Los Outrunners and Bandito. Mercedes Monet against Rain. Is it Reina? I think Reina S. I'm sorry, I know I butchered that, but that was probably my most enjoyable matchup on the show. Also, Josh Alexander and AR Fox was good too. I love seeing me some AR Fox here lately. You know, as we've been seeing AR Fox on like Collision and on the buy-ins and stuff. Love seeing him, dude. Tremendous tag match too with Speedball Mike Bailey and Commander going up against Roosh and Jalistico. Once again, Collision here lately. It's just been a fun, solid show. Nothing like too crazy happening, but just a fun, solid show nonetheless. Now let's talk about NXT from once again what seems like a lifetime ago, but from this past Tuesday night. Of course, this was the go home show for Battleground. Love the Joe Hendry concert. Like anytime you get a Joe Hendry concert, that's great. That's what like closed out the show. That was freaking awesome. Great matchup with Saria and Kalani Jordan as well. Like, you know my thoughts on Kalani. She's great in the ring, but I do like seeing a little bit more of her personality here lately. She's still not like one of my faves, but I mean, I will say like there's been some good improvements there, I think, with her. So. Also got to see Lola Feist one-on-one against Fallon Henley in a great matchup. Sean Spears going up against Josh Briggs. once again, like not nothing really sticking out too much about NXT from this past Thursday, but I'm definitely intrigued to see where we're going now with, especially with the TNA champion. Going to be on every Tuesday night, I would assume. So, speaking of TNA, let's talk about Impact from this past week. The big story coming out of Impact was Ace Austin going up against Mustafa Ali in a tremendous matchup there. Of course, now what we're hearing, what we know, Ace Austin is officially a free agent. What do you think of that, B-roll?
That is interesting. I mean, if I'm WWE, if I'm AEW,
AEW.
I'm I'm picking up the phone. I'm
Yeah.
seeing if there's any interest.
Yeah.
And if I'm TNA, I'm also trying to re-sign him. So
Mhm.
we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. As far as for where he would be a better fit, I'd have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, my mind gravitates to either AEW or NXT. That's what
Yeah.
I keep thinking. So, either way, it would be, I think, a solid showing. Like, here's the thing: I like with like we're kind of to a spot with AEW where I kind of like where everybody's kind of at there.
Uh-huh.
I'd hate to see them bring him in and like he's the shiny new toy for like 2 months and then we forget about him.
Yeah.
So maybe NXT, but regardless of where he goes, man, he's a talented dude, so he's gonna
Yeah.
get over. So, speaking of TNA, this come out this week, so TNA is officially banned throat slashing on air. This is a thing, throat slashing. Okay, so I guess The Rock can't show up on TNA wrestling and do his little thing, huh? Can't do his little final boss thing because at
I
the end of the
guess
day,
not.
let's call a spade a spade. WWE is bought or is buying TNA wrestling. I mean, whether y'all want to admit it or not, that's happening. It's inevitable. It's as inevitable as Ace Austin. I'm just
I
saying.
I am inevitable.
Yeah, but this, like, what the fuck? Banning on air throat slash. This is like some fucking Vince McMahon circa 2000, early 2000 ish bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Like, who fucking cares if you do that? Like, how's that even a thing? Like, the blood thing I get, but this? Huh? Huh? Is this really a problem? Is that really a thing? Does
I don't
anybody really fucking care?
I don't know. I don't even know. Are we even allowed to do that on YouTube? Like, I don't even know.
I don't
Like,
know. I don't know. So, but nonetheless, yeah, unfortunately, no longer gonna see that on TNA wrestling, and I don't even know who the fuck did it. Like, I don't even just. It's a weird. This is weird news that came out this week. Got an update here on Kevin Owens, or honestly, lack thereof. Like, they still have yet to do his surgery. A lot of people saying they'd already had the neck surgery done, but they're still waiting on some things to kind of. I think if I remember correctly, reading this was like kind of he's healing up still some to be prepared for the neck surgery or something, or they're waiting on something, I believe. But hopefully that happens and KO is healthy and happy. That's the most important thing is Kevin Owens being healthy and happy. Um, so hopefully that happens soon, and we'll keep you updated here on PW60 where Mr. Owens goes from there. Also, it was announced this week that Sabu, the late great Sabu, who we recently lost, there will be a documentary coming out with him that's actually being produced by Rob Van Dam. So that's pretty cool. You can see some footage here. That right there is in Vegas off Fremont Street. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of footage from his last weekend there in Vegas. So for his last match, I should say. So that's going to be cool to see, man. I'm excited to see that. I'm assuming it's going to be on YouTube, but stay tuned for that, folks. Also, this week, huge shout out to Saya Sao, who picked up her first MMA debut. So her first MMA win, I should say, in her MMA debut. So awesome to see. You always love to see it when you get professional wrestlers crossover and succeed in other sports. So congratulations to her. Also, give you kind of an update here on the Super Juniors tournament that's going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Looks like we got a three-way tie right now in the A block between Clark Connors, Hiromu Takahashi, and Master Wato. God damn it. Always with this guy. I just don't get it, bro. As we're getting down to the wire here of the Super Juniors tournament, still got a couple more matches here, but we'll see. And don't forget, you got Kushida, Fujito, and Francisca Akira, as well as Dragon Dia, all in second with 8 points. And man, oh man, Francisco Akira went ape shit on Clark Connors this week. So we'll see what happens there. Now, flipping things over on the B block side of things, you have got also another three-way tie with El Desperado, Yo, and Mao. Love seeing that too. Mao is an awesome competitor. Mao, of course, from DDT Pro. But they all are tied up with 10 points apiece. And then you got Robbie Eagles, Taiji Ishimura, and Sho, and Nick Wayne all at 8 points. So, like I say, we got a couple more matches in that. So stay tuned here and see what goes down in the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Always one of the best tournaments in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Do we got to talk about this? So apparently, Travis Scott will probably be making his in-ring wrestling debut soon. There's rumors going around you could be getting like a trios match at maybe even SummerSlam with him and John Cena and fucking Logan Paul. Jesus Christ, I hope that doesn't happen. Like, I hope I didn't talk that into existence. Ugh, I'm going to puke just thinking about it. But anyways, yeah. So that's going to happen. Oh, fuck. And this too. NXT UK is potentially returning. Not feeling it because honestly, the last time they pretty much butchered the independent UK wrestling scene, man, and I think they're still recovering to a certain extent. So, just you don't have to. Oh, we lost B-roll. Hopefully, we get back here in a minute. But you don't have to have like a freaking monopoly on this stuff, man. Come on, just let them cook. Let them cook over in the UK. You don't have to be involved over there, WWE. Jesus. So, we'll see what happens there. Also, this was kind of a wild information that come out this week. Looks like Roman Reigns is being considered for the Street Fighter movie. Oh, there's B-rolls back.
Sorry, the news of Travis Scott was just so shocking to me.
Shut you down.
Just,
hey, B-roll,
internet, yeah.
Do you play Street Fighter? Because I don't know who this character is. Is this who he's rumored to play?
Yeah, I guess.
Big dude. I feel like I've seen him on like select screens, but I'm old school, dude. I remember like Street Fighter 2. Like that's my go-to. Oh,
yeah.
Anyways,
no, I don't know who this character is, but yeah.
Well, looks like Roman Reigns is gonna be involved in a Street Fighter movie. Cool. Right on. I can dig it. You know what else I can dig? Our good, close, personal friend Sienna. Always having great advice for us pro wrestling fans. So let's go to a report with Sienna.
Want to give this shout out to Wrestling Republic for actually creating this meme. Because as y'all know, that Sunday was a really good day for wrestling in general. No matter which company that you're watching, if it's a major promotion or an independent wrestling promotion, there is so many options to watch. And I want to give a props to anyone that actually watches these type of show, either at the same time or in different real time. I know they're busting their butts up trying to enjoy what they really enjoy the most, and it's wrestling. I know some streamers did watch like both AEW and WWE at the same time, like NXT Battleground was there at the same time as AEW Double or Nothing. Just accommodating the fans what they like to watch too. And the beautiful thing is that there's so many variety. I don't really get to this point where like everybody was trying to say, wrestling wins no matter what. And then you have some that will be like, no, it doesn't matter. Where's the energy goes from you say this company is going to flop to that company and all that. It doesn't even freaking matter, okay? Because the thing of it is like, if you're a true wrestling fan, you got to know the passion. You got to know the strive, all right? And here's the thing. Wrestling is for everyone no matter what genre of it that you really enjoy the most too. See, in this side, Let's Go Wrestling, definitely wrestling wins out of any of the companies, like whether it's WWE or AEW, even for the indies as well too. So just enjoy what you're enjoying to do and stop fighting for the love of God, because it's starting to get really outplayed. But I doubt that like it's gonna like change or anything. But it's just gonna be like a starting point, like any other type of way. So just enjoy wrestling and just be happy, y'all.
100. Yes, Sienna, you knocked it out of the park. Could not agree more. Just enjoy wrestling, for God's sakes. We can debate, we can talk about things, but at the end of the day, we are spoiled, rotten wrestling fans. We're like spoiled, rotten kids right now in this era of pro wrestling, man. I mean, just freaking sit back and smell the roses. Touch some grass, for God's sakes. But thank you so much, Sienna. We love you. You also, we love here at PW60, we love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling content creators of the week is none other than the Foley's 574. This is pretty dope, dude, because this is a band, like a punk band that is based out of our home state, Indiana. They popped Reggie. You could hear him barking. But this is so cool that these guys are based out of Indiana. And the fact that they are like a homage, like as far as like their ensemble to like the great Mick Foley. So absolutely love it. Love to see it, man. If you're not doing so, give them a follow. Go check them out, man. And they're a pretty talented band too. So the Foleys 574 is our Ruby Ringside Wrestling content creators of the week here this week on PW60. I'm telling you, Reggie is ready for me to finish this episode and listen to some of the Foleys, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
This was really cool, dude. Absolutely love this. Got to see Bray Wyatt's son, Nash, dress like him for his birthday. How freaking cool is that, man? If this doesn't tug on your heartstrings, I don't know what will. This was such an awesome moment, man. What'd you think of this, bro?
Like he said, it doesn't tug at the heartstrings. I mean, there's another picture out there of like him with Bo, and it's just uh, hard, difficult to put into words. But Bray's legacy will
Live on,
be
dude, forever.
live on forever. Yeah.
And to see his kid do this as tribute, man, gosh, it just hits you in the feels, dude. This was awesome. You knew we were going to talk about this. Darby Allin delivering on what he said. He is the first professional wrestler to reach the summit of Mount Everest. And what did he do when he got there? He posted down that AEW flag. How awesome is that, man? Darby is a crazy kid, man. But you got to give him credit where credit's due, because he said he was going to do this, and by God, he did it. So congratulations to you, Darby. Get down that mountain safely, brother, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon in an AEW ring. But I got to say, B-Roll, this isn't an image I never thought I would see, but badass nonetheless, and just shows you how badass Darby Allin is. Also, it was announced this week that Saturday night's main event and Evolution, the women's all pay-per-view show, which we've been talking about that for a long time here. It's official, folks. It's coming back. It's going to be the weekend of All In Weekend, which I think these dates are actually wrong, too. I think it's like July 11th is Saturday night's main event, and the 12th is the Evolution. So good job, WWE, on that. But those events will be taking place in Atlanta. Excited to see Evolution come back. Not sure what it's going to consist of, but happy to see it back nonetheless. And our last story this week here on PW60 is AEW All Out officially has been announced, and it's going to be making its debut in Toronto at the Scotia Banks Arena there on Saturday, September the 20th. You know what? All Out holds a special place in our hearts, but we got to experience several years in Chicago, so I think it's time for All Out to branch out and go to a great wrestling city, and you couldn't ask for a better one in the city of Toronto. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. What do you think of this announcement with AEW going back to Canada and All Out going to Toronto?
I think it's good that they are going to be branching out and taking some of these pay-per-views to different venues, and it's going to be good for business. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely, man. His
And
best was
cheaper on my pocketbook.
hell yeah, brother. Yep, and probably a more enjoyable show. We're just saying, but nonetheless, but happy to see it, man, and cannot wait to see what's going to happen here in the coming weeks as we build up to All In. Well, somehow, my friend, we've done it again. In the world of professional wrestling. And like I say, we're on the road to All In. We're on the road to Money in the Bank. We're going to see what happens here tonight on Raw. And I know Reggie's super excited because he won't shut the fuck up anyways. Sorry, folks. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pro Wrestling 60. We thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next week on another episode of PW60. Everybody take care and have an amazing week. Bye.